Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Today we have a treat. We have one of our own here at AI Creatives Connect. We're going to be speaking to our brother Phoenix Benjamin. He's a producer, an artist, a songwriter. He's an engineer. I've heard his work. His work is bad to the bone. He's a great vocalist, great guitarist. He's been a studio owner, label owner, publisher, and also an award winning artist that has been shaped by over 3 decades of professional experience. He's also a Recording Academy producer and engineer wing voting member, talking about the Grammys since 1996, longstanding member of AFM Local number 257 in Nashville. Without much ado, let us welcome to the interview, Mr. Phoenix Benjamin.
How
Woo!
y'all doing? Thank you,
Doing
Phil, for
awesome.
having me. Hello, everybody.
We got
So,
our friends on the call who are joining bit by bit. I know we're a little bit tardy to the party, but we're on now, and it just gives me great pleasure. So let's journey back in time because we share this thing in common called the world of artificial intelligence music,
mhm.
which is like taboo to to some of our peers, and we got a lot to talk about. So let's go way back, even before the world of AI, Phoenix. Let's
Okay.
talk about how you got into the world of music. Where did this whole journey and interest start from?
Well, you know, I, the day MTV started, I seen it, and I was like, I'm supposed to do that. That's
Wow.
where that drive started. And at the same time, my cousin was Gary Rosington, the lead guitarist and founder of Leonard Skinner, and from Jacksonville, the West Side. And so that's pretty much what did it for me. It was MTV, and I didn't know how I was going to get there, how I was going to do it, but you know, all me and my friends, we it's like everybody's like, okay, we're gonna have a band, we're gonna get a band, but nobody would get a guitar, you know. And so I ended up buying a guitar because the guitar player would never get it, or he would get one and then pawn it. So and then that's how I started playing. And I had other singers in the beginning, and when I'm having to be an alcoholic and really, kleptomaniac and a compulsive liar. And I'm just like, I realized I wrote these songs, I wrote these lyrics, I could sing this. And then that just started everything. And yeah,
Wow.
put a band together, taught everybody, and this is it. My upbringing was punk rock scene, skateboard scene, and so I did my own thing. I never once had to go out and perform cover tunes.
Mm.
I was punk rock. We were writing our own songs. We were singing our life, our skate music. So it's different. So it's strange when I'm with my other friends who are, you know, big stars and everything, and in Nashville, and it's like I can jam with them and I could do percussions with everybody, but I cannot. I don't know anybody's song in the other way where I could do anything else because it wasn't my lifestyle. You know what I mean? And like I said, I
Mm.
was my inspiration was Elvis and Johnny Cash. And then
Mm.
being a punk rocker and a skateboarder, and a tattoo artist since I was age 16 professionally.
Mm.
So, you know what I mean? I had a very narrow mind on, how I'm going to do things, what I'm going to do. And the tattooing put me in the right place at the right time and meet people. And we made things happen. We didn't just talk about it, we did it. So,
Gotcha, gotcha. So you didn't like have any like formal guitar
uh-uh,
training or you picked it up
nope.
yourself, self-taught.
Just by ear. You see,
Fantastic.
they're talking about AI stealing. It's not stealing. It's just like, my favorite artist in the world was Elvis and Johnny Cash. I
Mm.
figured out how to play. I got a J45 right there, hanging on the rack, custom J45 Gibson, and it's like I wanted to sing like Elvis and play the guitar like Johnny Cash and do it both. You know what I mean? And it's just like, do I got to pay them because I learned by listening to their records?
Good point.
I didn't
Good
steal
point.
their sound. I have my own sound. I created my own thing, and AI, it doesn't copy music even when it learns off of it. All it does is learn patterns.
Mm.
What we put into the AI is, well, yeah, you put in garbage, you're going to get garbage. You got to have discipline first, and you got to know your spot, what your job is. And the AI needs to know its job too, but it can't figure that out on itself. It needs you to tell it what to do. And that's
Mm-hmm.
the way it is. You let it do its thing, you're going to get some garbage and some, I don't know what. It ain't going to be no copy of someone else's stuff. It's going to just be some weird stuff. You know what I mean? But you go into it with discipline and it's like, hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this project. And this is, you showed us, you showed it in your video earlier today on the small clip when you were, I noticed when you're putting in the lyrics and
Mm.
you're doing a technique that, I've done for a long time. And it's like you're going right off the bat. You're in control of this song. It's
There
not.
you go.
It's not telling us where we're going to go and hey, this is going to be this. You're just like, hey, I want this drum in here. I want this to come in soft, like this. And we're working right there from the intro matters, then blocks matter because then the producer comes and say, hey, I need this. I need this sound over here. I want this coming from over here. You need to be direct and you need to
Mm.
figure out how to talk to it in the proper way where it understands. And if you don't
That's
understand, you need to keep rewording your stuff until you figure it out. Because once you can communicate to a computer to do exactly what you tell it to do,
mm-hmm.
it's not easy. But your AI, like ChatGPT, it learns by working with you. If you don't
That's
work with it, if you just play it like a game or a translator, hey, blah 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 blah, hey, look what my ChatGPT says, blah blah blah. It's gonna you just go blah blah blah. That's what you're gonna get.
yeah.
But when you work with it, even when it's wrong, when you correct it, it
Mm.
learns. It stores that memory. I mean, you
Mm.
got to be. I made to. I've been hardcore into it for 6 months now,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I from the first couple of days was just like magical. It seemed, but I realized, wait, I'm talking to a machine that I'm in control of.
So
You
so
know,
how did you hear about it? Was that when you saw Timberland pop up on the screen, or had you heard about
that
Suno before that?
like I said, after my accident, I was, I can only sleep on the massage table, and it was right here, where actually right here where I'm sitting right now, and then I've got the big screen right in front of me, and I just
Mm.
had 6 months. I just had to lay here because I could not move.
Oh my
I
gosh.
could,
Let's
I
talk
couldn't even.
about that. Let's talk about that because the folks on the call, I see Miami Blues and a few
Hey,
others.
Miami
Thank you
Blues.
for coming through.
He's a great
Yeah.
guy, man. He came and met me yesterday
Oh,
or the day
really?
before yesterday.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we got to
Wow.
meet and hang out for a while.
Thank you for doing that, MB. That is awesome. I'm glad you got some local
Great
support
guy.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's out
he's
right
a
in your
great
neck of the
guitar
woods.
player. Yeah, he has a story about who his parents. They
Oh,
were into
wow.
music. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
he plays. I know he's a real musician, so that's really
Hmm.
great to hear. So people like him know about your story, but not everyone. So let's talk about your book that just came out. First of all, congrats on the
Okay.
book.
Oh, thank you.
There are not a whole lot of books that talk about this new world of production because
Yeah.
a lot of people think it's cheating, but it's not. You need
Well,
strategy. But before we go into your book, let's talk about your life altering near death experience. Tell us what happened on that fateful day in November last year.
well, it was November 30th, 8:45. Well, a little bit before 8:45. 8:45 was the time. That's when my lights were out, and
Okay.
I died. Um,
That's PM, 8:45 PM.
yes, East Coast time zone, and I had just left the tattoo shop, and I was on my way home, and like 20 seconds before the 8:45, I said, Yahuwah, it's like I'm tired of my life. I was like, please change my life. I'm ready. And 20 seconds later, the walk told me to walk across the street in the crosswalk, and that's when I was ran over by a big jacked up Jeep. Yeah, in my favorite kind of vehicle. That's kind of, that's you know that's what happened, and it really messed me up. I've got ticks in my finger. You know what I mean? So I can't, you know,
Wow.
I
Wow.
can't, I don't have the speed right now. Like if I play, it's just only with these, you know, three fingers, and think I got a Fender Precision bass behind me there, and I could, you know, don't, you know what I mean? I can open up the Suno and a boom, 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 and
Mm.
then, you know, I've got, I got the big studio behind me, so I've got endless vocal tracks and songs that I've been doing, and all I gotta do is just suck those out and suck in some, boom. Just walk over with the iPad and play it into the Suno, my vocal
Okay.
tracks. You know what I mean? So you were talking about in your show earlier about humming. Have you ever hummed into the melody? Well,
Yeah.
like I said, I just held the iPad up to the studio speaker and had one of my
Yeah.
old vocal lines, dumped everything out, muted everything out except for vocals, and I went from there. You know what
Mm.
I mean? And started building things up. And then I've got the SP16, you know, Pioneer live sampler, and it's a sequencer also. And, I'll make some beats. And like I said, I'll throw that in there too. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And that's what it is. It's all the little pieces. And but see, I've already got, like I said, I already went through before my accident and create a lot of these sequences, over 200 sequences, and I already had vocals already set up and written and sung into the hard drive,
Mm.
to these sequences for, because I was going to do a live thing, you know what I mean? Part of the DJ Coldfinger gig, I was going to figure out how to run that sequencer live and also jump up with a guitar and play, sing vocals. That was the idea.
Mm.
And, and then, like I said, the accident happened, and then that's it. It's like a Suno was just like I was like I seen Timberland come on, and then I seen another fellow Nashville musician, much respect, and he's like, "Oh my God, can you believe this app?" And he displayed it, and I was like, "Oh my God!" It's like I remember that company, and it's like before it was, it wasn't no good when it first came out.
Mm.
Now
Mhm.
it's like I heard that, and I'm just like, that's better than anything I've ever heard. There's nothing. This ain't like when it first came out.
Right.
And I turned him off, and I walked over and I downloaded, the product and opened it up, and I did it. I was like, okay, what can I do? It's, oh, I can add a song, and so I just pushed the button and I loaded up one of my songs. I was like, okay. But see, I was thinking as a producer, it's like, I want to take my song and I want to bust these stems out, and I want to take the stems and throw them into my SP16 sampler.
Mm. Okay.
And so that's what I did. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And, I did that for about like 20 different songs, just
Mm.
messing around before. And that was, way before the accident. But then life happened, my brother died,
Oh
and
wow.
then yeah, then about 6 months later, that's when, yeah, a chain of events happened, and then on that November 30th, that's when my accident happened. And yeah, so the last 6 months I had been just learning every part of, the Suno that I could, and figuring out, it's like, hey, I write everything anyways. When it was with all my
Mm.
bands my entire life, I wrote all the music. I was like, okay, guys, this is what you're gonna play. You're gonna do it like this. Hey, bass player, I need a walking bass. I need a dun 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 dun. And you get it. Working with Nashville musicians, some of the best, well, no, the best
Oh
in
yeah.
the world. I
They're like
mean, they'll take,
machines.
yes, yes. And it's just like, you want to do a single, you know what I mean, a song up in Nashville. You go in and you got your A team in there in the studio. I used to record at Ocean Way. And it's like, you go in, they say, okay, Phoenix, let's hear the song. I was like, okay, here's the song. And they load it up. Dude, they only play it for not even 30 seconds and stop it. And it's like, hey, we got it. And I go, what are you talking about? You haven't heard this part of the song. You know what I mean? And it's just like, And then I look at the band leader, and he's just like, during that 30 seconds, dude, he's already charted out in the Nashville number system, the whole sheet music for everything. And I was like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, I'm doing the charts. I was like, what is a chart? You know what I mean? And then I started realizing stuff. I was like, oh my God. And it's how you communicate. And everybody, it's like, you've been to Abbey Road in London, in Westminster, right?
Hmm.
You've seen their operation, how they operate.
Oh yeah, it's
That
a
I've
clean of the
never,
whistle.
dude, when I got to work there, dude, I was so amazed with it. It operated like a machine, a perfect. It was like a Rolex. It was perfect, and everybody and everything. Everybody was in sync, and the producers were great. And I was just watching everybody speak, and it putting everything together. And then a lot of their technology, they made a lot of their technology too. So a lot of those, everything is, it's
Hmm.
not store bought stuff, and
Right.
it's the same way. I learned a lot from all that,
So
and
from all of these experiences, it seems like you've crafted a methodology to give it a name. Like you've crafted some philosophies like control before creativity. That's like your
yes,
first rule. Can you
yep.
explain what you mean by control before creativity? Because to
Um,
people who are creatives, the word control sounds a bit intimidating.
well, I would say most people just start with generating, and I start defining
Mm,
the rules. Creativity grows with boundaries that are clear. If you begin with chaos, you get chaos. If you start with control, identity, direction, and structure, creative flows without limits.
mm. That makes sense. That makes sense. So let's talk about another philosophy of yours. So you talk about building an identity core. What is an identity core? And before I forget, Phoenix,
Hmm.
let's agree. Can I drop the Gumroad link, or which link can we drop in? So people who are coming in, eventually I'm going to drop it in there. Is the Gumroad
Yeah, they
one
could
okay?
do. Yeah, the Gumroad's okay.
Okay. So I'm going to put the Gumroad one in there because a lot of folks might be interested in the book. So, identity call for AI creation, how does that compare to an artist developing their real world artistic identity? Let's hone in on, let's say, five, right?
Okay.
Because this identity call, it sounds ambiguous
Oh yeah.
when you compare it. Yeah. So what's that?
Yeah. Well, a real artist builds identity through experience, and IA builds identity through instruction. You know, but the foundation is the same. Clarity creates power. Both require clarity. Whether you're an artist or your AI system, you need to know who you are before you can create anything meaningful.
Hmm. Okay. That's a great philosophy. So let me ask you this. You've worked in the music industry for 30 years. I mean, that's a lot compared to a lot of people just getting in. What was the hardest mental shift when you first encountered AI? I know we've talked about Timberland and the Great Discovery, but what out of all your principles, which one would you say was the hardest mental shift when you encountered AI? Were you threatened?
No, no. Is letting go of old assumptions, and what tripped me out is I had to unlearn decades of traditional workflow. You know,
Mm,
and AI isn't here to replace skill. It's here to expand what skilled creator can do. And
that's a
that's
good.
what I was figuring out by learning with my chat GPT.
Mm,
Yeah, we mess things up. It messes designs up and whatever. But I'm not asking it to draw me something. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, hey, create me this. No. I'm saying, I want you to do this. This is the flow I want. This is my melody. And I build, the identity and the structure. a skeleton of that song,
Hmm.
with directions throughout that whole skeleton. It's just like, you know, sometimes when I write a song, it may start with some lyrics, or I would have this killer riff in my head, and I was like, oh, I got to record that down. Or my Boss, 300 sampler pedal. You know what I mean?
Ah.
I might just be jamming on it. And it's like, whoa, I like that. And so I just put that on a loop, and then boom, create, boom. And it's like, there you go. That's part of that skeleton. That's going to go right here. And so I might bring that and I might loop it. But then it's like, boom, now once I heard that, I'm hearing this over here. And now here's a whole flood of words coming in,
Hmm.
you know. And so the words might not show up until after I get the back line of the music recorded, or the beat done, or or might take flow, dial in when I start playing around, on the Phantom 6. I'm no keyboard player
Mm.
like you, but I can make orchestrated noise. You know what I mean? And I'm very,
One. Yeah.
I know a few chords,
Yeah.
and I can play with those and I can manipulate those. And that's what I do. In different songs, I might have, that technique I use, because like I says, I don't play piano much. And, but there's certain things that work on different music. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And I know those chords, will do, you can manipulate with a Phantom. You can do so much. And then it's, it's a constant learning thing. If I don't learn something new every day, I've wasted a day of my life. That's how I roll.
Wow. Wow. I need
You
to
know,
I need to put that on a mug somewhere. That is that I love that. Wow. So the difference between you and a lot of other musicians, producers I hear is a lack of feeling of control in many, many, many people that I've heard. They feel that the AI is in control. Their creativity is not on the stage. But from what I'm hearing from you, you ain't one bit intimidated. You are
it's
empowered because you're
it. You
feeling
gotta
like
you gotta you gotta turn it off. You got to
mm,
get over that hurdle, because you're too
mhm.
worried about what other people are going to think. You're too scared about something you don't know about. But if you don't
Wow.
open your eyes and turn everything off and learn it,
Hmm.
you
Wow.
yeah. That's You can't go in life not doing that. You have to do that in every aspect of your life. You turn the noise off. Be the best you can be. What I
What
did yesterday, that was cool, but I'm gonna do something better today.
I
Maybe five
love that,
minutes from
man.
now. It's I'm not gonna slack.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm getting excited because that is the philosophy I have. AI is good and all, but it's not greater than the creator, right? It's not greater than you
Yeah.
who's coming up with the songs and the ideas. I feel a lot of people are not empowered because I think Beatology said it well. If I could ask him to come say all the stuff he said in our last interview, people are just not honest. They want to
Right.
feel like they're powerful instead of saying, "Okay, this is a gap, this is a weakness. Let me get AI in here to help me fill in
Hmm.
the gaps where I'm weak." It doesn't mean that you are no good. It just means that you're able to tap in. So let's go a step further, Phoenix. Let's go to number 7.
Okay.
Let's talk about how you openly challenge the traditional industry model. What specifically do you believe is broken in the old system?
um, it's slow, expensive, and built on gatekeeping. And
Slow, expensive.
built on
Let's talk
gatekeeping.
when you talk about slow, break that down for the layman so they understand
Well,
what you mean.
the old system depends on limiting access. The new world depends on empowerment. AI democratizes creation, and the industry isn't prepared for what creators don't need permission anymore. So we don't
Mm.
need permission anymore. We ain't got nobody telling us no. You know, if your creator gave you a gift, that means use it. Use the tools given to you to make it happen. Quit making
Mm.
excuses. Don't let somebody turn you on and off like a light switch.
And this is what producer Cosmic just chatted in. First of all, shout out to producer Cosmic for grabbing the book. He said, "I think I want to
Oh,
share
thank
this
you.
with my church."
Thank
That is
thank you.
calling a that is calling AI the devil. Haven't you heard of stuff like that? People calling AI the devil and trying to get wean you off the devil, the demon in the AI. Just
They
crazy stuff.
they
Fear.
they they said that about the first drum machine, that a box was making noises. You know, get over it. You know,
That's
it's not. If you want to make it your devil, you could. If you want to serve it, yeah, I guess
mm,
that's you're not serving your creator.
wow.
But it's a
Wow.
tool, and how you
Wow.
use it to serve your creator is what it does for you.
Oh
It
my goodness. That
amplifies
brings
you,
me.
not the.
You're dropping some gems, man. I'm getting too excited. I got to put myself on mute. I got to put myself on mute because
Oh,
you're really unshelling these truth bombs, because you have a lot of people that say, "Well, you're using that and it's the devil." But even the rocks, as the good book said, are going to cry out if you do nothing and stay by the sidelines. The rocks are going to cry out and they're going to say. So anyway, let's shift over because this is very convenient. Let's go to
okay.
8. So
All
let's
right.
talk about your method. Your method blends spiritual purpose
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
technical
Well,
discipline.
yeah. I keep purpose internal and technical external.
Mm,
You know, my spirit guides me, but I translate it into discipline, clarity, and consistency. It's never vague. It's the fuel, not the product.
I love that. I
And
love
it's
that.
in everything I do, not just, you know, with this.
Mm,
It's even in the, tattoo studio. It's everything I do.
I love that. We got some friends here. Model Entertainment. Thank you, concurring with what you're saying. And we got our friend MB here as well.
Right
Remember in
on.
the 50s, the devil's music.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh dear, producer Cosmic said even AI would cry out. It's true. Just replace that
Mm-hmm.
with AI. You're very correct. I like the way you've broken down so many points. And while I would love to go into more depth, I really want to cover all the points because you've raised a lot of important things in the book. You describe AI as an amplifier of
Mm-hmm.
humanity. What do you mean by amplifier? Not a replacement. What do you mean by that?
Well, when AI amplifies you, it amplifies your intention, good or bad. The responsibility is to create with clarity, integrity, and awareness. And responsibility is authenticity.
Hmm.
That's what I believe.
This is amazing. This is Has this always been your philosophy and your work ethic and your mind process before November 30th last year?
My
Or are many
entire
of you
life. This has been
really?
my
Wow.
entire life.
Wow. Wow. So let's talk about how your work uses symbols, symbols like fire, like rebirth. I'm an
Hmm.
X-Men fanatic, so I
Right.
love the whole story about the Phoenix. And when I saw your name pop up, it immediately reminded me of Jean Grey of the X-Men. But your work uses symbols like fire, rebirth, and ascension. So
Hmm.
why do these themes matter so deeply to you?
Because those are the major points of our creator's creation of music. That's what brings your music to life. You also, in a way, when you're dealing with the AI, it knows symbols. So if I use a well, like it's like if I'm producing it, I might throw some symbols and some designs in there because it knows where to take it to in that direction. I'm speaking directly in its language, if that makes sense to you.
Hmm.
I'm all self-taught. This is what I've learned on my own.
Hmm. Okay. Is it okay if we play? Thank goodness. I don't, there will be no UMG or WMG slapping our wrists. So,
Right.
can we play a snippet of any of your tracks? Like a snippet? Or do you want to keep it to the big release?
Um, let's see. December 12th, we have
Is that
I have 5 singles coming out
wow?
on
Okay.
streaming, and sometime next week, I think, hopefully by Friday, I'm putting
Ah,
together a special, my faith package to Yahuwah, my Yahuwah songs,
nice.
and that's going to be 20 songs of my faith. for $10, and it's going to be available on my Gumroad site.
Wow. Okay, I won't share the songs, but trust me, Phoenix, I got them queued.
Okay. You,
If
if
I
if you
said
want
the
to play
word,
some, go. Yes, go ahead. If you got them, I don't have no way to do it from where I'm at
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But
I got
yeah,
him
feel
queued.
free to do what you want. Feel
I
free to
got him
do and play
queued,
what you
and
want. You
yeah,
can.
and here's
You have
why.
permission.
Thank you. Here's why. It just I got really excited hearing the real life elements in your
Right
work,
on.
and I'm like,
Thank you.
wow. So, of course, I'm already biased about the London Calling. Can I play a bit of that one? Can I
You
play
can.
just a bit? Okay. All
Yes.
right. Let's just a snippet. Just a snippet. I won't go too far. I just want to crave everyone's indulgence so they know this is not just, pie in the sky stuff. This music is really good. All right, let me go ahead and play just a tiny bit. Here we go.
Cold finger in the house. It's 4 a.m. on the runway. Jet is ready to taxi.
All right, that's enough. That voice cannot be found in Suno. Let's just put that up front. That voice cannot
Right.
be found in Suno because that is the voice of the man himself. Honestly, I would love to keep playing it, but I want folks to go out and listen. So the
Oh, right
date
on.
is going to be the 12th of December,
Mm-hmm.
is it?
It'll
And
start
it's going to be
streaming.
on Spotify, on Apple. It's going to be everywhere, right?
I'm not sure exactly about Apple or Spotify just yet
Deezer,
because no, I'm never going on
those guys.
that.
So where do
Nope.
they need to look? Amazon or where?
It should be, in a whole bunch of stores, but D's are definitely not. iHeart
Okay, iHeart.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
iHeart, and I'm not sure where if it's going to be on Apple yet. It wasn't clear with the
Okay,
distributors,
gotcha,
you know.
gotcha. Okay,
So,
okay.
but
But I
I
mean,
will know then.
the people heard the magic, and trust the musician. As I'm listening to it, I'm like, what scale is that? What what scale is that? It sounds very Arabic, very Eastern, Middle Eastern.
Um, I was playing around with the keyboard
Oh
and
wow.
playing with some samples out of the SP16, and
Ah.
yeah, just twisted them up, reversed them, and I was like, hey, wow, that sounds, it, you know, put it to a metronome click, with that sample, and it did its own little thing. That's why I had that familiar and sounded,
Mm.
you know, and then you put that into Suno, and
Wow.
Suno twists it,
Hmm.
and it's got my melody,
Ridiculous,
and
but it sounds
and I what if
extremely real. Sounds
thank
it,
you,
I
thank
mean,
you.
you cannot pick out, oh, that is because, and I think because your lead vocal is very strong and potent and really upfront in the mix. I mean, it confuses the person listening, and that goes back to what we're saying. People just categorizing all use of AI. Give me one more second.
Right.
Let's just play a tiny little bit.
Okay.
On my way to my favorite place.
Those vocals are so clean, man. So you got stuff out of Suno, you put them into your DAW. Which DAW do you use?
I use Pro Tools.
Okay. So
Hmm.
from Pro Tools you did all the final mixing and then the mastering, and then you added your vocals not in Suno Studio but in Pro Tools, right?
Yeah, Pro Tools, and then I suck that into Suno.
Mm. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
But
And
how did
then,
it maintain your originality of your vocals?
Well, that's also blending, with the AI
Ah,
tools. So, like I says,
fantastic.
when you're working with Chat GPT, you got to learn how to produce this. It's not doing what
Mm.
it's wanting. And like even on the mix, it's like I'll tell it what to do, just like I will an engineer in the studio.
That is just crazy. That's crazy. Let me put this on the screen so people understand what we have here. So we have the first of its kind, right? Talking about professional AI music design. Very few people will even want to tackle this. Very few people can tackle this. So you got to understand the credentials of the man, right? You got to understand he's done this in the real world. So he brings a lot of that real world ism and puts it into the Phoenix method. So Phoenix, if you're gonna like encapsulate all of this into one sentence, volume one, because I know we got volume two and three coming, but if
Yes.
you're gonna like put it in one sentence or one paragraph, what would you say about this work?
This is for any beginner, anybody wanting to know about it or about, how music and AI works, how production works. I mean, the future is already here. It's been here for a while.
Hmm,
I'm not the first on this technology. And it's like the future is already coming where it's going.
hmm,
So we got to, know how to use it. And so this book would be, for that beginner, for that. It also, you've read through it. It's also got way advanced stuff for advanced users. And then for us experienced producers who's been in it for decades, it's now going to take where we are and take us way beyond.
hmm,
You know, like I says, every method, every step is and listed in this book is how I live my life as it is.
hmm.
Everything is direct, everything is in control.
It's amazing. So for those just coming on the screen, you see the book by Phoenix Benjamin, The Phoenix Method. This book is deep. When I saw the book, I said, this is a masterclass and a half. I can easily see this being taught to colleges, the Berkeley people. Of course, they'll have their bowl of Rotten Tomatoes. They're ready to attack anyone that wants to talk about AI music. But honestly, I believe in the next couple of years, all these colleges, just watch it happen. They're going to be looking for tutelage in this. Because what you bring to the table is with all of your exposure to the world of professional music, you're also bringing the artistry and the science. And I think every mishap could be a blessing in disguise, because without November 30th last year, who knows whether you would have had this epiphany, because it's an epiphany.
No,
This
I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, where far as this goes. I would have,
mm,
I don't know. I wouldn't have accomplished what I have within this timeline too. Working with I've got over 3 decades of music, and AI is
mm,
letting me bring it all back to life. What every Over all these years, all my fans and everybody who hasn't been able to hear my songs from since way back then live, now they got a
mm.
chance to have a reimagined, you know what I mean,
Wow,
of the entire
wow.
catalog. And then with the technology, I don't have to stay in when you know what I mean. I've grown over the years, and music grows too with people.
Mm,
It's okay to have a song in this music genre and then another. What did Sam Phillips did with Sun Records? Johnny Cash was singing Elvis songs. Elvis was singing Johnny
mm,
Cash's. Willie Nelson. Everybody was singing everybody's songs and releasing. How many Blue Suede Shoes versions is there, and how many different artists is it? It grew. The world accepted. You know what I mean? So, and it's the same as now. Nothing has changed. This
that's right.
AI is like a brand new guitar, a new instrument.
Wow.
People are scared of it. You know what I mean? And it's just like they said
Uh,
that about every single instrument all the way back in time.
yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You're preaching now. You're preaching. That is, oh my goodness. These things excite me because I don't hear too many people look at it that way. A lot of people look at it as a,
Mm-mm,
they look at it
they
as,
do.
but they forget that even with a knife, with a fork and a knife, even with a pen, it could be used for destruction
Hmm.
if you let it,
Yep.
if you allow it. So I really like your mindset. Now, number 14 that I have for you is you challenge neutrality and creativity and you call it out as dangerous. So let me ask you, why do you believe that neutrality weakens art instead of protecting it?
Well, when you refuse to choose a direction, your art loses impact. And great art always takes a stand, emotionality, tonally, or thematically. You know,
Hmm,
neutrality kills emotion.
that is deep.
And,
That is deep.
it's like I said, it's all in control and self discipline. You know what I
Hmm,
mean? And like you hear me 1,000 times, it's like me and Yahuwah. That's everything is inspired right there now since my accident. I asked for it and it changed my life in every single way. And like I say, if I close my eyes and he gives it to me, I can create it.
hmm,
And within record time, you know what I mean? I've got over 400 tracks, masters of unbelievable stuff, you know. And it's not garbage, it's real music written by, my hands, my brain, my life, my experiences, every part of my life, all the way back,
yeah,
over three
absolutely.
decades.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this song about my baby died. What where
Okay.
where did that come from? Was that like a sudden inspiration? Was that something you did in a previous world before the accident?
That's when I said walk around collecting the tears in my cup. Was it that song I
Mm.
sent you?
Hmm.
Was that
Yeah.
it? When I said
Yeah.
collect the AI tears, I was pointing out the AI tears. It was just like, yeah, I'm gonna pick myself up. I'm gonna pick this around and pour that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's we are the ones in control. I'm gonna save all these things and I'm gonna laugh about it. It's gonna stay right there in that cup. It ain't affecting me. It's not getting on me. I'm gonna
Wow.
operate like a duck. It's gonna just roll right off my back.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know, I'm on a mission.
Wow. Okay. So I want to can I'm going to play a tiny bit of watching my baby die.
Okay.
Just a bit. I promise not to give everyone too much. Just a little bit.
All right.
Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. If it ends up being 1,000 years, I'm gonna carry this big gold cup, saving all the AI tears. Oh, beautiful phoenix, we'll be reborn in a fireball, a life without fear.
Teasing the audience. I'm just giving them a tiny little sliver, just a sliver. I don't want them to hear the whole thing, but honestly, it is so exciting. Let's go ahead and unmute you, Phoenix. I think I may have muted you inadvertently.
All right. I
All
did
right.
that. I was,
I mean,
I was
that music
jamming
makes
out.
you move.
I was
That
jamming
music
out.
makes you move, man. So that like that groove, that beat, how how did you come up with the beat to go with the words and the music?
Well, that was one of the songs that I had pre-created. It originally founded off my Boss 300 foot pedal.
Wow. That
You
is
know,
sick.
and it's just like that groove, and I was just like, I like that.
It is
And
lovely.
then it's just like a beautiful phoenix. And like it says, I'm talking about all this the BS that circles around and holds me back. But then at the same time, I see the song. My songs are trilogy. They're stories of my life, and I talk about more than one thing in one song. You could take one song and one song and one song, and it's going to take you on one story path. But then if you move these songs over here in this direction, it's going to take you on another experience.
Hmm.
It's like in a way the song's also talking about when I blew my hot rod engine racing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's just like I'm going to be reborn. This isn't the end all. But then at the same time, that was how I was living my life. And when I chose Yahuwah, I was
Hmm.
reborn and everything just went forward.
I love it. I
And
love it.
I'm carrying that AI cup of tears. You know what I mean? Because that
Mm,
was my tool that was given to me to
wow.
to finish creating my craft before I leave
Wow.
this earth.
I love it, man.
So,
You're so deep in this stuff. So you teach artists, let's go to 15. You teach artists to engineer emotional,
mhm,
intellectual, and
yep,
mythic impact. So,
yes.
which of these do you feel modern creators neglect the most? Emotional, intellectual, and mythic impact.
Well, artists forget legacy. They forget to create meaning that lasts beyond the moment. Mythic resonance is what gives a piece of timeless weight. You know,
Hmm.
you want your song to be timeless, not for just this time.
I love this stuff, man. This is what you're teaching in this book. When I'm going through it, you're teaching the philosophy and the values to equip today and tomorrow's hybrid artists, hybrid engineers,
Hmm.
hybrid musicians. And it's really a book I would highly recommend, especially if you feel like, oh, I'm a beginner, this stuff is above my head. Trust me, now is the time you need to start learning
What you
how
learn in
to.
this first book, it's gonna amplify you. It's gonna make you 100 times better than what you were.
Mm,
I mean, as you see through the thing, that I put some of my creations in there for people to play with and manipulate too, not just
wow.
prompts, but like I said, if they see a prompt that I provided for them in here, they're going to be able to know take it and assert. By the time they get to it, they're going to be already so advanced where they're going to like, oh my gosh. And it's not
Mm,
only for Suno, it works in
mm,
every AI. That's the whole
absolutely.
thing. Every AI is universal. It's not this AI against this. They're all, it's all one.
I
And
love
people
that. I
don't
love
realize
that.
that. People
Mm,
don't realize that. Everybody's sold on their brand. You know what I
mm.
mean? But AI is the same.
It's a very sobering thought, man. Very
You got
sobering,
you
very
you got a
aligning.
good soul operating it and you're disciplined, you get one
Mm,
outcome. If you're an evil, dirty, rotten person, you're going to do dirty, rotten things.
that's absolutely true. That is, these are so deep, man, that people often, not be able to reconcile in the beginning. But I endeavor, to just stay with something till I understand it, and I would encourage everyone to do the
Mhm.
same, because there's no book in the market that addresses this in a professional, ethical, mindful, spiritual manner. It's like, if I was going to write a book on this kind of stuff, I would definitely take this mind first, mental first, spiritual first approach. So this is right on the money. For those who are just coming, we're talking about Phoenix Benjamin's new book and some of his music, which you've been hearing us feature. And I'm asking him questions. Yeah, I've been teasing them with a little bit of, because the thing is, when you hear a real production, at least not everyone, but the 3%. Jesus said there are 3% of us that hear it. Well, when I listen, I hear it, and it just seems just like a fluid production that is not technically built in a microwave. It shows that you crock with that stuff. So, on average, if you're going to give a number, would you say that you may have had to reprompt this stuff maybe a few times? How many times did you have to?
um, like our last interview with DJ Stealth, I mentioned, some of these things will go up 30, 40, 30 different versions and productions. Like I say,
Yeah.
you don't just create one thing and oh, that's the first two I'm going with. No, you take those and you pick the best one after you analyze it, and then you've got to talk to it again. You got to take this mix to another level, or it's
Mm,
just going to keep regenerating and making an echo of what it already has. It's going to
gotcha.
eventually make itself garbage, or you're going to take it out of that next flow and take it to another level.
Mm. So let's talk about 16, because you say consistency is a frequency, not repetition.
Yes.
So how can
Consistency.
creators stay consistent?
Well, you stay consistent by maintaining identity, not by copying your last idea. The frequency stays the same. The expression evolves.
How do
Consistent
you how do you learn all
can
this stuff, man? This is
Dude,
like a it's
it's
like the book of gold.
since I was a kid and that tattoo, I was that tattoo kid tattooing all over the world. I come in contact with people and people's like, "Oh, you're an old soul," and rub me, and
You
oh,
are.
you're old, and it's just like, but like I said, when I told you about those accidents when I died and I crossed over, after
Mm,
those accidents, I came back with knowledge and knowing stuff I never wanted to know about,
hmm.
and it's just like people think I'm crazy, but hey, I guess I'm crazy, but I'm happy. I have a song. It's like when you see me smile. Do you think I'm really happy?
Mm,
I am.
mm.
Even when I don't have a smile on my face, I'm happy.
I
You
love
you
this stuff,
create
man.
your energy. Everything is energy from
Mm,
from your body to your feelings to your creations to the
hmm,
tools you're using. There's power. There's energy right there. It's going to work
hmm.
with you, or it's going to show you what you don't want. It's going to
You're
expose
dropping
you.
gems, man. You're dropping gems. This is just ridiculous. You're dropping gems. You're giving people the blueprint. For those who can listen in, they are going to get like gems, even just from this interview. How much more when they go looking for the book? Because
They
there's
have no
more gold
idea.
in the book.
They have
There's
no
more gold
idea.
in the book. And let's talk about how they can contact you. Is there like an email you can drop in the chat so that if there's
Um,
any
they can
colleges
go.
out there?
Um, I've got packets already made for the colleges and universities, but if
Okay.
they want to go to the Gumroad, and I've got a
Gumroad.
mailing list on Gumroad, join that
Okay.
mailing list, and I'll get right back to them and get them what they
Fantastic.
need.
They need to absolutely because I want them to be learning. If they're going to be learning the art of AI music production, they got to go back to the ground zeros that you've shared tonight. It is
I mean, my
truly
volume was so big, I had to stop it, you know, at the chapters that I did because it was too big,
wow,
and it broke up into three different volumes.
wow, wow,
That's how big
wow.
it is. And so when the paperback comes out, 8 9 weeks after the volume one comes out on paperback, then we're dropping volume two, and then 8 weeks after that, dropping volume three.
This is really awesome. And
And I am putting together, a master class,
mm,
concept and protocol for that right now too.
that would be awesome
So,
to see.
and
Yeah,
I
because
sent you an email on that, briefing you that
I
we'll talk
saw it.
more about it.
Absolutely. So for those who are just coming again, the book excites me because number one, there's nothing like it. Number two, those who know similar stuff are too busy to put it together
Hmm.
or too scared. They're afraid of
Yep.
the backlash, so they're not going to share their inner secrets. But trust me when I tell you, this is from an artisan, from someone who understands the artistry of music, how to shape your own sound, how to get your mindset in the right direction, which is
Yeah.
why I would highly, highly advise anyone who is thinking of going into world AI music. This book, you need to get it. If I was going to write a book like on AI, definitely this would be the path I would follow because it starts off with the mental, and you've mastered the mental. You talked about lying down on that bed for 6 months and having a lot of
Hmm.
ideas coming to you and your mindset being reframed, even though you already had a fantastic work ethic. So it's like buy one get one free. They had the you before the accident and they have the you after the accident, which is crazy. But let's go into some of the final questions that I have for you.
Okay.
So, and before we do that, let me just give a shout out to some of our friends who are coming through and concurring. Producer Cosmic says creativity is
Cosmic.
worthless without control, and he's
Yeah.
quoting you. He's quoting you. Do you see that on the screen?
Exactly. I see
He
it.
he put a quote from you, and Model
Thank you,
Entertainment, Martel Entertainment said, "That's
Marcel.
why I keep telling people, tool is the key word.
Yep.
It's here and it's not going
It's
anywhere."
not. It's going to get bigger because we're going to design it bigger. Phil's
Hmm.
doing it. I'm doing it. DJ Stealth is doing it. A lot of people are doing it. So,
Miami Blue says, "Stay on camera. You're you're excited." He said, "It's all about intention, of course." I'll be
yeah,
stopping by your shop. Awesome, awesome.
big
And
city tattoo.
Stephanie says, "Absolutely incredible. Looking forward to reading your book." Thank you, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you,
Honestly,
Stephanie.
You will not be disappointed. It's a great, great production. So let's talk about you believe in about creators, and this is where you might get some of the naysayers. Prompting to commanding, you just it's just semantics. Help them understand what is the difference from prompting versus commanding, because I know what your answer is likely to be, but clarify for me so that the listeners and I understand. When you say creators should move from prompting to commanding, what changes psychologically when that shift happens?
Well, like I said, everybody's playing with AI and Suno like it's a game, like it's a
Mm.
novelty, and they're nobody's being original. That's why everybody has the AI slop, because you're just being sloppy. You're playing with a toy. But I was mentioned, when I started working with the AI, I realized my assistant, of ChatGPT, I'm dealing with a toddler, a 3-year-old.
Mm.
You got to keep that in mind. But you got also, like I said, it's all self control, keeping your cool, because however your feelings are going to translate in the words that you choose, and
Mm.
how you communicate is how that machine is going to communicate. Whether it be Suno, whether it be Udio, or any of them, it's all the same. More in there one Moises or something, it's all the same. It's like you can take all these many places, but if you can't communicate with it, it's not going to go nowhere. It's
Mm.
just going to be a novelty song. It's just going to sound like, oh, okay, that sounds like a bad elevator music, you know? And, the people who are doing what I'm doing, you're doing, and the people, like say Timberland and all these other guys, they're ahead of where we are. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? He knows it. He don't need to read the book to know what I know. Shit, we've been in the
Mm-hmm.
business the same amount of time. We know the same people. We work with the same people. He
Mm.
knows his deal. He knows what's up. And the people who get
Mm-hmm.
it is the ones
Mm.
who's going to take this to the next level.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
And like I said, and then it's like I said, it's who we are as artists and producers. You know, a real producer continues to produce every aspect of his situation, whether it be life or a piece of art. Music is art. Just like if I was to do a tattoo,
Mm.
I close my eyes, I hear it. I can hear them colors.
That's crazy, man. That is
You know,
crazy. I totally get you, but it's just it's exciting, because I don't get this kind of energy from from a lot of the creators, because you got to have lived extensively a lot of this stuff. So one of the things that excited me, having had a rotator cuff tear, nothing close to what you experienced, but I realized that your
oh, mine's
system.
mine's cracked. Mine's cracked from the accident.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
And I realized that your system, you intentionally considered injured musicians, disabled creators. Why was that
Hmm.
mission non negotiable for you personally?
Because of, like I said, Yahoo showed me. I knew I wanted to change in life. I was tired of living for myself, and life is no longer about me no more. It's about you, Yahoo, and not me. And that's
Hmm.
also one of my song titles, also, of one of the new songs coming out on December 12th. And that's when I did that. Like I said, it allowed, it brought the love back into what I was here in the first place.
Hmm.
Through time and tribulation, everything that I went through my entire life, the ups and the downs and making bad decisions, but that's how we grow. But if you don't learn from them, you don't go to another level. And did I answer that question? Or
Oh my
I
God!
feel I'm leaving some stuff out.
You more than answered it, man. This is one of these
It's
interviews where I wish I was just listening and soaking in, because you're dropping all these truth gems and I call them wormhole bombs. You're just opening the wormhole for the people that are receiving what you're giving them. You're opening the wormhole and helping them learn stuff that they may not have thought about. You're dropping
right.
gems. I'm learning as I'm
Well, if you
here.
don't, if you don't do something, nobody's going to do it for you.
Wow.
You know, you've got to take the first step. You got to take the second and third.
Hmm. Fantastic stuff, Phoenix. Let's talk about 19, because in the news very recently with all the drama with, and I like your perspective. I like your positive grounding, and I feel it. You try to be positively grounded because we have our WMG friends,
Right.
our Sony friends, our
Yep.
UMG friends, to mention a few, but we always go with the big three. And we could have choice words, but we choose not to. We choose not to go down that road. So we hear people saying, "Well, these music companies, they're just about what's in it for them. That's why they want AI covers and the walled garden mindset and so on." But if you are going to talk about the most dangerous misuse of
Hmm.
AI that you currently see happening in the creative world, what would it be?
Using it without intention. So the danger isn't AI, it's empty creation. When people let AI generate without identity, the art collapses into noise. And that's where I said before, what you put in, what you get out. It could be a child's toy, or it could be, music, and it hits your pillars of your song. It's going to, I've got more than one pillar kicking in every single song. And
Hmm.
it's like, and it only takes one to grab somebody. But when you got more than one pillar, you're catching more than that one person. You're
Hmm.
hitting, you're hitting more than one. You're getting more than one response. Um, I'm trying to give a cool, easy reference. It's like in the tattoo shop and dropping ink on a sponge, and then when you go squish finger down in the sponge, it all, you know, it's like an octopus when it shoots out his oil.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. And that's you don't have the art. Um, wow. You don't have intention. You don't have it harnessed.
Absolutely. You know what's coming to
You're gonna
me as
make
you're
a
saying
mess.
this?
That's what I'm saying. It makes it a
Yeah,
mess
I
every time.
absolutely get it. You were very clear. You know what I'm seeing your book is going to help people do? It's going to be also a mirror. This book is a mirror because what I am hearing from you going through these points, I can use this as a mirror to know if I'm on the right path. And I think we can work together to maybe help the people get in the book to also have an accompanying app that can help them based on your
That's a good
revelations
idea.
in the book, you know based on
Yeah,
your revelations in the book. When they interact with the app, they'll know because you're dropping so many truth gems: lack of intentionality, neutrality. You've dropped so many crazy truth gems. But what is exciting me about it is they're not just things for people to consume and harbor in. It's for the world to say, okay,
to
using the
share.
Phoenix model, yeah, to share. Using the
If you're not
Phoenix
here to
model.
help anybody, you helping yourself ain't taking you nowhere. You know,
Mm,
helping yourself isn't going to take you on the other side and give you that
wow.
life. Whether
Wow.
you're blessed to have the blessings here on earth or on the other side. If I'm blessed to have it on this earth and I stay in this
Mm,
walk, I'll be blessed with it on the other side also.
crazy
You know,
stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
but
Crazy.
you got to
All
be
right.
real. It's all about being real and honest and
Is
self discipline. It goes back to discipline of you and your creator. What you represent, what you believe in,
mm,
is how you're going to lead your life too.
100%.
You
100%.
know,
Let's go to 20 because I know we're kind of inching onto over an hour
okay,
now. So if a
wow,
creator could only apply, yeah, time goes quick when you're dropping truth gems. The
I'm
truth
having
gems
fun.
just
This is
keep you
fun.
tuned in. It
Yeah,
just keeps you tuned in. If a creator could only apply one idea from the multiplicity of ideas in your book, which would change their results fastest?
identity first.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See, if a creator clearly defines who they are and what they stand for, every prompt, every lyric, and every sound becomes stronger and instantly.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. Okay. Here's a final question for you, Felix. and then I'll play a little bit more music just to get people
Okay.
kind of hooked, like I am. But and then I hear a lot. I hear a semi hip hop, urban rap. I don't want to name artists, but there's that slant towards the urban. Where's Have you always loved that kind of urban slash rock vibe?
Rockabilly, and like I said, punk rock is rock and roll and rockabilly, which goes back to, blues and country,
Mm,
and it's like the rhyme, it's not traditional. I don't do your traditional rhyming. You know, I have it
mm,
with my own swagger, with my own style. You
hmm.
know, it's my own street talk. Let's
There
say,
you go. There you
like
go.
I
I
said,
love it.
my lingo from skateboarding and being on the beach surfing and stuff when I was younger, doing that. It's like
Makes
we
sense.
had our own style, we had our own talk, and
That's
we
right.
still do, and we still act like that. And like I said,
Absolutely.
it's from my tattoos to my songwriting to my guitar style. It's
Mm,
it's aggressive, but it's peaceful,
hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
And like I said, I want to be able to groove to it. I've always called my music groove, and it's like
Mm,
I've never fit the regular groove category.
hmm.
Now because of Suno, now we've got thousands of music genres now developing,
Crazy.
which
Is
is
it?
very
Isn't it?
exciting. And
Yes.
now, what I've done my whole life, it's defined its own style, unlike anybody
Mm,
else. And that's what, like it says, discipline, working, knowing what
mm,
you're going to do, controlling, you know, knowing how to write a song, taking the time to learn how to write a song. You know what I mean? You don't have to play the best instrument in the world. Like I said, I'm disability right now. I can play what I can right now, but with AI's help, I could take that to the next level and polish it off.
mm.
I wrote it. The AI did not write my stuff,
Love it. I love it. I
and
love
that's
it.
and that's it. And turn everybody off, because they don't matter. It's your life and where your creator is taking you.
Hmm. You're preaching, man. This is Church of AI. This is AI Music Church right here. AI Music Church. All right. So,
So
when someone finishes volume one and says, I feel different, what do you hope has fundamentally shifted inside them?
that they finally feel like they're in control. I want them to walk away knowing that they aren't just reacting to creativity, they're directing it. That shift changes everything.
Wow. Wow. Fantastic.
That's what I want them to know.
This is fantastic. Phoenix, I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your giftedness and your greatness in this book with the world. I think this is going to be a pivotal moment in helping creatives understand that they have options. They do not need
Yes.
to feel beaten. You see, the problem, and I talked about this a few days ago, we have the echo chamber. Misery loves company,
Hmm.
weakness loves weakness, but you're giving people options to understand, forget about what is happening outside, look inward, develop your identity, develop the philosophy, and then have a purpose in what you're doing. Don't just write a song because you need to write a song. Write a
And
song
don't
because
sit.
you got a message.
Yeah, don't put your toe in it and check it like you would a pool. Jump in it.
Mm,
You're like I am for Yahoo. It's like we're 10 toes down. I'm standing for Yahuwah,
mm.
and I'm going forward with my best at all times.
I love it, man. I love it. So for our friends just coming, you can get this life changing. It's not just, this is more than technique. It's going into the spiritual, which is very important for creatives, because when you're spiritually balanced, when you have a balanced mind, only then can you create your best. You bring out some really good
Hmm.
points about that. So we have a question for you. Let's put it on the screen, and it says, please discuss why Rary digital YouTube with 2-minute videos. I'm not truly getting the question. You might have to read. Do you get the question, Phoenix?
I'm
Mm.
and who's that from? From Tim? Tim Van?
Tim
Is
Van.
that what
Yeah,
we're looking? Okay.
Tim, do you want to state that question again so that we understand in its entirety? I'm having trouble decoding. Million Views is more popular than West Coast rap. So I think he's comparing two different videos types.
Well, I don't know where you're going with that. I from being
Oh,
all over the world, every hood, every neighborhood, like here in Jacksonville, down in Tampa, out in Hollywood and San Diego, and on. Everybody has their own styles, but it doesn't mean the new sound is the new sound for the youth. It's whatever that
mm,
youth is speaking in that area. The youth here is not going to be speaking the same thing, but they will have. Everybody is going through the same thing. Not only the youth is going through it right now, we all are going through this right now. The same thing. People want
mm.
to. They want to single themselves out, make yourself different. But no, we're not different. We're all the same. We're made in our Creator's image. We're all brothers and sisters.
That's a great take on that. Yeah, I think it's really more like is drill the new sound for the youth, and you've
It's
answered that.
if you're hearing that, it's because those major labels are pushing that. They're force feeding you stuff like, you know, yeah, you're being force fed. That's what
Mm,
that's one thing about Suno. It's taking that power away and bringing the music back to the creators. We'll shape what it
mm,
is, and the people will say what they like.
mm.
We don't have
Abs-
to, you know what I mean? People want to. I'm not too worried about streaming because streaming's dying. They ain't even been paying us anyways. I'm not a fan. It's like I'm gonna sell my albums direct to the fans.
Yeah, let's be honest. Let's talk about
Why
what you
should
said
why should I
during the
give
interview.
why should I give the distributors and streaming platforms all my best work for not to pay me?
Mhm.
It's not gonna
Right.
happen. How about you don't even do that? How about I give hundreds of songs to my fans for pennies
Mm,
on the dollar
mm.
and then show them how to change their life and do the same thing,
Good
you know?
point. Yeah.
And like I said, what I'm doing right now, no, I can't take a stage and play guitar and run around with a mic anymore. But hey, I can go through as DJ Coldfinger, DJ my whole set list and tell my story and help people, throw a party
Mm,
and help people, help grow people, teach people.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And we
So
have
now,
fun doing it.
absolutely. There's a few questions that I might have missed. Producer Cosmic said, I'm creating a GPT over this concept while we speak. The game is over for me. Thanks, brother.
Right
Okay.
on. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Producer Cosmic, for getting the book. All right. Thank you, Stephanie, for coming through as well.
Thank you, Stephanie.
And who else? Miami Blues. Thank you very much. I saw KP come
Thank you,
through
Ryan.
initially. And
KP,
The Influence. Thank you. Swavy K.
thank
Thank you
you.
for coming through. Who else did we miss?
Wavy, Wavy K. Right
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
brother. Thank you.
Awesome. And Martel Entertainment. Thank you very much for coming through with
Thank you,
all your
Martin.
conversations. And Tim. Tim asked another question. He said, please discuss the God frequency, a sound so beautiful, it's the audio fountain of youth.
Well, your creator is inside you. It's not in outer space. It's what
Mm,
like I says, your energy that comes out of you is from your creator, and it's going into these tools that we're using. We're creating it. You just got to know how to
mm.
talk to it. You know.
Osama Burbank, thank you for coming through as well.
Thank you, Osama. You rock, brother.
Yeah, Osama came on really early in the show. All right.
Right on.
Well, my friends, this is just the beginning because you're going to be hearing a lot more from Phoenix when we eventually get to the 12th of December with his releases drop in. I just wanted to give you folks a little taste. I didn't want to give them too much, just keep them on the edge of the seat. But will it be on YouTube at some point? Any videos, or will it be on a site, or pretty much you
Yeah,
buy and
that's
download?
that's what I'm working on right now is trying to rebuild the YouTube. And
Okay.
this is new to me. You know what I mean? There's no team with me doing this. It's
Hmm.
me, you, and a couple. I mean, who I can talk to help. Wrangle this. I mean, it's yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, it's just me, and I'm doing my best. But yeah, that's the plans, and started today. Started dropping shorts, and then it's going to evolve into more things. And yeah, we're in build mode right now, and
Gotcha.
please sign up to the mailing list to stay involved. And like I said, I'm going to be working with Phil here, and that's what I'm here is for, is to help people.
Fantastic. The influence says, "Where can I buy the book?" I'm going to put it up on the screen again. You can get it at Gumroad. Let me put that link up one more time.
In a couple of days, we'll be announcing on Kindle and paperback also on Amazon.
Right. Okay, let me put it in the chat because it was many minutes ago I last put it in. So get that book, man, and I can assure you, you will be extremely delighted. You got to let it seep in. You got to crock pot it. Let's talk about that for a second because, this generation, we're used to, honestly, this generation, we're used to just press in the
Yeah,
microwave and, but it's not, no, you got to let this stuff seep in. I think we probably did five, maybe 2 to 5% tonight. So imagine all the other bits in the book that you're going to have to absorb, but let it just get in like a crock pot in, and I'm telling you, you will be the
it's
better
it's
for it.
it's going to be a book that you have in your control room right next to you every time you go sit down to work and write
There you go.
and work with your equipment, no matter where it is. The technology is
Mm,
advancing.
mm-hmm,
All the technology is advancing. So these are your basic and advanced
mm,
and higher advanced tools, even in the first book, all in from for beginners to advanced. I mean, this is going to take your craft and everything you do to another level. And each
absolutely.
each volume is, I mean, if you think volume one is amazing, wait till I send you the index for volume two and volume three to look over. You're going to be blown away. I'm almost done with it.
It's exciting.
So,
And I would just say that it caters to both the left and the right brain. You
yes,
cannot say, I am just going to focus on the technical without, the grounding pieces that we've talked about tonight are earth shattering. You need to bookmark this video, you need to like the video, and then you need to share it with
yes.
other people because,
Thumbs up and
you
like.
know, yeah, thumbs up and like. And then also let's put your channel on there. Which one would you like me to put on there? Should
Uh,
I put on the both of them, or or the one that everyone knows you by right now?
the one
Let's put
everybody knows me by right now.
Okay, let's put that one on. And then the Kindle version is coming soon, so just
That
hang
and
tight.
paperback on Amazon, and I should know something in 72 hours.
Yeah, just hang tight and we're going to make that available. But going down to Phoenix Benjamin at Phoenix Benjamin. So in YouTube, you can find his YouTube pretty easily. And then what I would love to be seeing as we evolve is definitely more shorts. These reminders that you've given us tonight, Phoenix, are truly earth shattering. Truly.
Oh, thank
I
you.
had so many epiphanies. I was having trouble sitting still. I
Well,
was having trouble sitting still because it's helping me discover more about my own journey, my own path. So you are a
right.
conduit, brother, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Before
Well,
we
thank
jump
you for
off,
having me.
oh, thank you. Let's play my favorite unbiased London Calling.
Okay.
Just a bit.
Cold finger in the house. It's 4 a.m. on the runway. Jet is ready to taxi. On my way to my favorite place. Sin City.
Has it stopped, Phoenix? Or is it still playing?
Um, it's kind of still playing.
Okay, I think I stopped it now. I got it.
It was going in and out.
Okay, we got it.
All right.
So I want to say a big thank you to all of our friends for coming through. You got the link. Miami Blue said, turn the volume up. Yeah, 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 I know. I know. We got another friend who just stepped in. Real Jen
Right
Giscon.
on.
I'm over here remaking Chris Brown songs and there you said it. Not us. You said it. All right, everyone. Thank you for hanging with us. We've really enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have. Remember where you can get the book. Get the book. I know it's a great sound. Get the book at Gumroad, and we'll see you folks very soon. All right. All
Thank you.
right. Thank you all. Peace.